Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Anderson, and welcome to my lightning talk. Today, I will be discussing polarization. More specifically, I will look at religious political polarization. Sociologists have for many years been interested in measuring political and social attitudes. This research provides both a general window into the American mind and clues about the likely outcomes of political debates in both the electoral and legislative realms. In recent years, extreme rhetoric on both ends of this political spectrum have contributed to what researchers have described as a culture war, in which Americans are increasingly divided on social issues such as abortion and homosexuality. Although such polarization would be interesting sociologically in its own right, one likely effect of the culture war is a loss of political compromise, leading to stalemates, filibusters, and a shutting down of the legislative process. A key aspect of the culture war thesis is the supposedly growing divide between religious groups. Religious beliefs often pit Orthodox believers against secular progressives and may be responsible for the emergence of divergent opinions on moral issues in recent years. The relatively recent marriage of religion and politics, beginning with the founding of the moral majority by Jerry Falwell in the late 1970s and continuing through to recent popular culture events such as religious political movements on social media, suggests that the issue of religious polarization persists in importance for understanding American political culture. So, as you can see in this graphic, I have included all of the social issues and combinations that I looked at in my research. The variables I used were elective abortion, which is when someone wants to get an abortion just because they want to, traumatic abortions, which is when someone wants an abortion due to rape or some other tragic event, opinions toward premarital sex, and homosexual sex. I use data from the General Social Survey, which is a national poll that has been administered either yearly or biannually since 1972. I also use hierarchical linear modeling to determine levels of polarization between religious groups. Since this is a lightning talk, I will not be able to cover every issue that I explored, but there are important areas I will discuss. First, notice in the graphic that with every variable other than homosexual sex, we see that Black Protestants have been polarizing since 1972 with nearly every other religious affiliation. Second, there are mixed results overall of polarization between religious groups since 1972. So in some ways, we have been seeing polarization occur, but not in others. And finally, notice the variable for homosexual sex. As you can see, and I plan to research this further in the future, but as you can see, prior to 1991, there was very little polarization on this variable, but after 1991, we've seen significant levels of polarization between religious groups. Thank you for listening to my 3-minute talk. Have a great day.